everyone, welcome to a new video. Today's video is about career breaks. I'll be sharing with you my experience with taking career breaks. What are the benefits of taking a career break? What are the setbacks? What you need to consider? Stay to the end of this video where I'll be sharing with you if I have any regrets and what you need to consider before you taking a career break. So let's go. Hi everyone, in today's video I'm going to share with you the benefits of taking a career breaks, what you need to know before you take a career break, the lessons that I have learned, and is there any regrets, and also the cons of taking a career break. So first I want to start with why I've taken a career break. Like I mentioned in previous videos that my career was challenging and it took so long to get qualified and the whole journey. So the first career break that I have taken was unintentional because I was chasing the dream for so long and then I was so exhausted. So I've taken that. So I just basically, it wasn't intentional. But then the next career break, which was planned and intentional, is when I wanted to step away from the work environment or leave the workforce, because it's been so long. I was exhausted. I was even though I loved my job, but I knew there was more to explore, that I wanted to do more, be more, especially like I said, I've done the additional course, that was a professional development that I chose to do, the postgraduate certificate in healthcare management. That's when I realized, oh, I can do anything. I don't have to wait for anybody's permission. So, and then after that, the burnout, the limited growth and progression, and I was desiring change, and that pushed me to take that leap of faith when I decided to leave full-time job. So I realized that if I want to lead, innovate, if I want to create, I need to step away and look at my life in general, and get out of the routine of the daily grind, as they say, and rediscover myself, rediscover my purpose, my goals. So that was the reason to take a career break. So the next benefit was gaining new perspective. Like I said, stepping away allowed me to discover the world, because when you're in the lab, you're in the lab. So like I said, I left the job market because the job field, because I wanted to explore the world outside the laboratory. And boy, what I have discovered that I knew nothing. So I did embrace being a scientist, and but I wanted to explore new paths. I wanted to explore what else I can do as a scientist, not just in the lab, not just in healthcare, but in society. So, and also I wanted to challenge myself. Like I said, when I did that additional course, I realized I can challenge myself. I don't have to wait for anyone's permission. I don't have to wait for a course given to me or something that I'm familiar with. So that gave me that bravery to, okay, I can do something else. And to be honest, that made me grow in a way that I never imagined, because normally as a scientist you would think, okay, I will just do the specialist, stay in the job and not explore anything else, and the majority of us tend to think like that. So when I started to go networking, I was shocked that I didn't see many scientists out there, unless you're a head of department, unless you're in management, unless you're a lead. I didn't see many scientists. So when I started to explore and go into networking events, when I initially started to go to healthcare events, there wasn't many scientists. It was only unless you're a doctor, unless you're in a leadership role, or unless you, what's the other title I wanted to say, unless you're a head of department or in business, the management. That was it. I only met maybe 2 biomedical scientists. One of them left halfway and the other one was, and even if they were there for certification or they were just silent. And I realized, wow, there's more to do. There's more you can do. And that's when I took it to LinkedIn and I exposed myself as a biomedical scientist with a vision. The next lesson or benefit that I have discovered is you learn new skills and you discover yourself, self-discovery. Like I said, when I started to network, I realized there's more. And I remember when I was frustrated and angry because I felt like I was not acknowledged just because I'm a biomedical scientist. At that time when I started to explore, I was only a biomedical scientist who's sharing content on social media. I was sharing on Instagram, and then slowly I started to share on LinkedIn. When I started to share on LinkedIn, like I said, the first year I was just exploring. So when I started to network in Dubai, I started sharing my experiences, such as when I went to, because as I said, I planned ahead to the networking events that I'm going to attend. So I already had an idea. So when I started to attend the events, I was writing my reflections, taking photos, like a personal branding. So I've taken content creating to the next level, to the professional level. And that's when I felt I was growing. And then also, I started to explore what else out there. So when I started to network, I realized there's more that I can learn. I started learning about things I didn't know. I didn't know about, obviously I learned about digital health. So before I traveled, I did an additional course called digital health. If you go on like Future Learn, Coursera, all these, there's so many free courses. Coursera is fantastic because there's a variety of courses, and I remember I've attended several talks by I think it's the founder or CEO. I'm not sure, and he's an open-minded person as well. He's got English degree, I think, so he's got that mindset, growth mindset. So I've done additional courses. I've learned about content creating. I've learned about how to write online. These were all short courses because remember I was at home. I stopped working, so I learned all of this. I've learned how to do website. I've learned, and they were all short courses. So that's how I started to learn skills, and I started exploring other topics such as the consultancy, the business world, skills. I just went to look for everything, read about everything. I was just hungry because I felt like I was in a bubble. I did not know anything other than science and the lab and anything that's revolved around it, and I was really frustrated. That's when I realized, you know what, I'm gonna start learning. I'm just gonna read and I just kept on reading and learning about creating content, and at the same time I was sharing content. And also I've learned about engaging with different how can I say, different industries. So like I said, I was invited to several events. I remember I've attended an NFT fashion NFT related event, and that had some top names, and that was eye-opening. I've learned about marketing, social media marketing. I've done a bit of volunteering, and then I realized there's so much I can learn, and that enriched my knowledge in sharing content and things like that. And meanwhile I was sharing content, so that was when I realized that you can learn more. And like I always refer to that book, The Magic of Thinking Big, where it says don't just mix, or don't just attend events related to your industry. Try and attend other industry events. So I've been to business, I've been to fashion, I've been to just anything. So now it gave me that resilience in speaking to people from different industries. So that is really, I thought that was really crucial. So that's the benefit of getting out of your comfort zone and your bubble. You learn more, and that opens your eyes to the world around you. The next benefit was or is family time and personal balance. We spend so much time at work, especially when you're doing many shifts. So we don't spend enough time with family. And to be honest, this is my own personal opinion. We are growing and our parents are aging. So before you know it, that quality time, once it's gone, it'll never come back. And living in the UK, I'm not criticizing, but life in the UK or Europe or America is materialistic. It's a developed country. It's a working country, so it's not made for family. It's not, the weekend is never enough. We've got occasions. We want to spend evenings with our family. We want to spend more time with our family. So I embraced that a lot when I was spending time with my family, and that is so worth it. And work will never finish, and if you spend your time at work, all I can say is I find that is priceless, spending time with family. And that gave me a bit of balance. You know, like I said, unfortunately we don't have work-life balance, and I don't have the luxury of working from home. Even working from home is not easy. When I had some time off to do my other activities, yeah, like say if I've got several meetings, sometimes I cram them in one day. It's a lot. An hour here, an hour here, an hour here. Before you know it, the day has finished. So even working from home, I don't think it's not easy like I used to think. So that made me think, prioritizing about my family, my personal life, or personal balance, and my mental health, of course. And it made me realize what matters to me first. And also the mental health. For me, I train myself by, for example, my morning routine is very important. So I'm not that type of person who will wake up and get ready for work. No, I need at least 2 hours to, obviously I wake up for prayer, but I need some time to reflect, some time to, I do most of the tasks that I want to do before I go to work. So because after I finish work, I'm too exhausted. I've got two screens, I've got the analysis, I've got the environment, the commute, all of this. It can be very tiring. And the biggest lie you can tell yourself is, I'm going to do things over the weekend. No, by the time Saturday comes, you're exhausted, your body, and by the time your body kind of realizes, okay, it's Sunday, before you know it, it's Monday. So week after week after week after week, before you know it, you're too tired. So, and say if you take a week off, when are you gonna rest? When are you gonna catch up? So what worked for me, or my survival my survival recipe now, is I spread it over the week. Monday to Friday, I do an hour every day, for example, in the morning, and at least it adds up to the end of the week. So that is the survival recipe that I have now, because don't forget, we get tired and all of that. So now, because I'm self-employed, if I know I'm gonna be tired over a period of time, I know I'll just take a break. Like now, I've taken a lengthy break, and to be honest, that was on time, because I was really sick towards the end, because I've worked so hard the last couple of months. So yeah, that's the benefits of having a career break, where you just decide to just rebalance, so if I may say. So the next benefit is reassessing and refocusing your goals. Like I said, when I got to my role and my aim, I realized, is this it? What else do I need to do? Can I do this for the next 10, 20 years? So when you take a career break, you reflect. Like I said, COVID was the eye-opening for me. So it gave me clarity to ask myself those big questions. Is this the career that I want to end up with? How can I improve it if I'm not happy with it? What truly inspires me? It made me redefine my path and think of what matters the most. So to refocus your goals and realign your career with your passion, you need the time. You need that mental state to think and just have time. Like for example, when I take a break, I know it's going to take a couple of days for my body to adjust, for my mind to clear your mind, and we are surrounded by so many distractions. So even though, like, I'm working in near where I live, I've relocated and things like that, I've minimized it. And another thing, for example, in the morning I walk to work because I don't want to deal with the commute. So these little things, you add up. So you start, because I've taken time off and I've traveled and I left UK for some time, and it gave me that time to rebalance and restart. One of my friends, she said to me, I was having one of those moments where I was feeling uncomfortable, because you do feel vulnerable. You do feel like, oh, I'm not feeling comfortable. And she said to me, look, Ida, you are restarting. You're switching, you're starting again. Just think that you're deleting everything and starting again. So that's what the benefit of having a career break was. You reassess your goals, you think about what matters most, and you start again. So that's why it's good to take that break, because you just step away and you have a break and you think, okay, and then you start again, rather than accumulating those bad habits and things like that, which you cannot catch up when you're having a holiday or having a break. So that's one of the benefits. Another benefit I want to talk about, which not many people talk about, the extracurricular activities, embracing that. And in addition to that is mental health. How can I put that? Why am I putting this together? For example, I like to write and create content and share content, and networking with different sectors. So whether it's business or even literature, I didn't realize that I love literature, and I really enjoy it because that was there in my mind since school days. But because of school and school work and university, that was put back. But I went back to that love again. So and art, I love going to museums, I love going to exhibitions and things like that, which I didn't realize that I love these things. So I'm not a concerty person, but I like to go to exhibitions, museums, forums, things like that. I find passion in that, and I love those conversations. I feel like these spaces are safe spaces. I don't know how to say this, but there's less troublemaking in these spaces than if you go to a concert. It's true. I've never seen who's gonna go shooting in there, for example. I became a scary cat, guys, by the way. But I'm at that stage where I prioritize my mental health. So for example, if I want to go out or things like that, I like to go somewhere where, like the last time I went to the museum, the V&A museum, which again, when I took career breaks, I started rediscovering all of these places. That's how I discovered my hobbies. Like I wouldn't sit and watch TV for a long time. I'd rather read a book. I'd rather do other activities, even simple activities such as cleaning or preparing food and things like that, which I never thought I would. We do it like by default, but I really enjoy these activities because that's when you know you've reached that balance. So that allows me to maintain my mental health. So now I became very aware if I'm stressed or if I know when to stop. Obviously I'm human like all of us. Sometimes I have times where I just blast out, but that's when I know. For example, my commute to work, I've changed it because when I chose where I wanted to work, like I said, I'm self-employed, I looked at the route and what can I do, and slowly once I got familiar, I found a way. So in the morning I walk to work, so I avoid all that drama. So in the morning when I wake up, I have my space and so on. So at least all the stress that I need to deal with is work, and when I commute back home, that's it. So I've minimized all of that. So, and the activities that I like to do, and even when in my travels, like when I go to Dubai, or I look, even when I went to Saudi Arabia, I went for a few days and I made sure that I went and I visited the National Museum. Oh my God, it was the best experience. I loved it, even though I had 2 hours because of the traffic and because of the time that I had, and I enjoyed it. So if I didn't develop that mindset, I just came back so happy, and I spent time with my friends, and I spent time, and I went to events as well, and so you start thinking of all of that. So that's why I like I really embraced the career break, because it allowed me to rediscover and participate or discover new activities that I enjoy. So even though you feel like, oh yeah, you're stepping away and you're taking a few steps back to reassess your situation, but then that takes you many steps ahead. That's what I would like to mention as well. So that leads to the next point, which I'm trying to make, is the unexpected opportunities. Like I said, when you burst that bubble and you come out of your comfort zone, you discover more about yourself. I realized that I like to create. I realized for me, when I create content and I share my thoughts, that's part of therapy for me. So, and say if I share content out there and I say, guys, this and this and that, and then people come back with their ideas or solutions or things like that, and I've created so many friends that I met through social media, obviously genuine ones. We either met through our paths crossed in events and things like that, and we've been following each other for some time. So, and then it led to opportunities which I never thought. So if I didn't step away and open my eyes and heart, as they say, I wouldn't have discovered all these opportunities. So collaborating in addition to growth and things like that. So I always say, don't be afraid to burst that bubble and get out of your comfort zone. I'm not saying you drop everything, but as we evolve, we rediscover, because you don't want to end up in a situation where you're just frustrated and not happy. And this is what I sensed when I was working full-time, even up to this day, because now the working hours are longer, people are not getting paid as much as they want, inflation, taxation, things like that, all of these things, just it's a lot. So I'm very grateful for all these benefits that I got from career break. However, there are certain challenges you have to bear in mind. The financial challenge, of course, where people I save up and then when I run out of money, I go back to work. As simple as that. That's my current situation. But the thing is, it makes you financially smart. You think very well ahead. You think what matters the most. I must admit, I didn't realize that my financial habits were, I'm not saying they were bad, but they could have been better. Like, it's really interesting when I go out shopping and I look at how people are. I had to reevaluate all of that. I love makeup, I love dressing up, I love that. But then I've got other priorities. I'm not saying look a mess, but for example, when I go to work, I don't put no makeup. I dress up casually. I'm in a lab coat. I'm there to work. I admire people who dress up, but I've got more important things to worry about. So that's a simple readjustment that I had to do. I would dress up like today. I'm gonna go out, so I'm ready to go out, but I'm very comfortable to go out with no makeup. So you start assessing things that what's more important to you. So the financial strain can be there, but then that's the beauty of being transparent with your family. Don't be afraid to ask for support. And for example, when last year, alhamdulillah, I was very lucky. I went to Umrah. And it was part of one of my career breaks because I really wanted, it really helped me, really helped me. It was the best experience I've ever had. And I pray to God that I managed to go to Hajj as well. So when you're working, you forget what matters the most. At the end of the day, I'm Muslim. I'm proud to be Muslim. My religion is a priority in my life. It gives me faith. It gives me peace. That's my personal choice. And I'm very lucky that living in London, we have that diversity. But again, being in the UAE or in Saudi Arabia, I feel more comfortable. I can dress up modestly. I can feel safe. I don't have to worry about prayer because you can pray anywhere. But to be honest, I'm very lucky in the prayer room at work. I've been very lucky everywhere I worked. There was prayers places, and even universities that I was at, there was prayers. So I think when you have the intention to follow your religion, God rewards you, blesses you with and every time when I used to go for prayer, the stress at work used to be less. Whatever there was something that's happening, things used to get sorted. So I don't regret taking a career break. Like I said, you have to be wary about your spending, but there's always a solution. And I always follow two sayings or two quotes. Nobody's born with knowledge. This is when I get a panic. I always say that to myself. And the second thing I always tell myself is where there's a will, there's a way. So when you have that intention, you pray to God, God will guide you, and everything falls into place. It's so amazing. I was a person who had fear of failure, fear of things going wrong, things like that, but I've replaced it by thinking of the opportunities that will come. So that's my current situation. So I'll be updating you on how things go, but taking a career break was the best thing I did. So do I regret it? No, I don't regret it, and I'm glad I did it. It's an experience that you need when you taking big decisions in life, and it will help you. So taking a career break isn't a setback, it's a setup for the next chapter. And if you are considering it, don't be afraid. Because this is your journey. You are the ones who's shaping it. It's a path that only you who will walk through. So trust yourself, embrace the change, embrace the unknown. Use this time to become the best version of yourself. And that's what I keep telling myself, because I keep telling myself, if I go to sleep and I die happy, because I know I did the best I can. Because regretting or to regret something, I think that's more painful than trying something and it doesn't work, or you either learn or win. That's it. So if you enjoyed this video, please comment, let me know what you think. Subscribe, because there'll be more stories that I'll be sharing with you, career insights, self-growth, as I always like to say, you're the one who creates your career, because having a career is different from a job. And even though I'm in this journey, but I'm sharing it all with you while I'm on that journey. And again, share your thoughts. Have you been on a similar journey? Let me know. And until the next video, keep shining, keep inspiring, and see you next time.